Hi, this is Christy Calm, and I'm coming to you from Journey2Joyous, where I'm a wellness and life optimization coach. I'm happy that you had the chance to join us today. You coming on board to see what we have to share about stressing less and living a more mindful life. We're going to talk about 3 steps to train your brain to stress less, to learn to calm the chaos and create a better life. This is a proven system for no more panic attacks, no more ending up in the ER and being sent home to drink wine, and to learn how to make stress work for you. So, thanks for joining. And just to introduce myself, um, my story is I have some chronic illness that has led me to not being able to work in a traditional corporate America career fashion. And so I've turned my life's purpose into helping other people reduce their stress so that they can better their lives, whether they're chronically ill, uh, overtaxed working mothers or working parents, or other people who just need to calm the chaos. So today we're going to go through some topics for about an hour plus. We're going to help decrease stress and increase your quality of life. I want to lift the burden. I want to calm the chaos. So let's talk about the problem of stress. As if we all don't know that stress is a problem. Let's talk about what it can do to you. So stress is our response to real or imagined threats and challenges. And as you know, our caveman ancestors had the fight, flight, or freeze response. And now these days they've added something called fawn. And it just means whether you freeze, run, hold all your muscles as tight as can be while stressful things are happening. But it's a stress response that involves your body, your mind, your emotions, and your thought processes. And it's so powerful, it can completely negate all your healthy lifestyle things that you have going on. And so we have to learn to fight disease and increase our wellness by getting rid of stress. And it starts and stops in our brain. Our brain is always on alert for stress and threatening things, and typically that are brought on through perceived dangers or fears. And it's critical to our survival, as it was to our caveman ancestors. And it was a gift passed down. And it's an autonomic nervous system reaction. And so, what we're going to talk about today is using mindfulness to change that autonomic nervous reaction to kick in our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our calming mechanism in our body. And that process is going to start by learning how to do simple things such as breathing techniques, which we're going to go over. We're going to talk about living in the present moment, and we're going to talk about practices like the importance of self-care and things like that that you can do in your life to continue to improve the quality of your life. We want to learn to recognize the triggers that set off your stress response and begin to let you know that you're not in danger. So if one thing you take away from this today is when you feel that stress response, ask yourself, am I in danger? If you are, then you have a reason to stress. If you're not, it was just road rage or you're angry at your teenager, you got to learn to take a deep breath and let it go. You can reach out to friends and family. So, we're going to talk about becoming more aware of this. We're going to talk about breathing through it, and we're talking about connecting to other people. We're going to talk about cultivating optimism, trying new things, and the importance of self-care like exercise regularly, regular rest, and taking the best care of yourself and creating a mindful and even a meditative practice that can help you stay well. So, the problem. Let's talk about how stress negatively impacts your heart, your stomach, your muscles, even your sex life. And you can snap your fingers and relax, right? Only if we wish we could. But a lot of us have trouble letting go. So somehow we hang on to our most frustrating moments and replay them over and over in our head. And we let that inner critic play that tape over and over and over. And whether you realize it or not, that rumination keeps your cells in your body fired up, ready to fight. Autonomic nervous system on, hormones, adrenaline pumping, which over a chronic period of time can be detrimental. And unfortunately, was the downfall of me and how I lost my health. So I'm very passionate about helping you learn how to stop doing this and to be more prepared to handle it better, to build your better life. So tension is felt in basically every system in our body, changing the way we breathe, how we clench, how we hold our muscles, and how our hormones and our cells react in our body. So we're going to talk to you about what stress does to your body. And I'm going to post something about the different systems that it affects. But it can give you headaches, heartburn, depression, insomnia, make you have tight chest, rapid breathing, higher risk of heart attack, a weakened immune system, high blood sugar, high blood pressure, fertility problems, stomach aches, gastrointestinal problems, erectile dysfunction, affects your sex drive, tenses your muscles, and all kinds of other things. So today we're going to learn how to take this problem and turn it around and have it be more healthy for our heart, more healthy for our lungs, more healthy for our muscles. So how can we make stress work for us? If you put stress on the end of a continuum, what do you think would be at the other end? Do you think it would be relaxation? No, actually, it's a lack of caring or concern. Stress is something we feel in response to our environment when something happens to someone or something that we care about. And it comes with those physical symptoms that we talked about: racing heart, churning stomach, and psychological worry. It means you have something at stake. It means you care. So the first thing you need to do is become aware that you're stressing because you care. Because if you didn't care, you wouldn't be stressed. And so that's living an engaged life. We just have to learn to temper those things. And for this reason, we don't want to eliminate stress. We want to make it work for us. We want to leverage it. We want to not live a stress-free life. We want to look for stress reduction, stress management, and stress freedom even. But we want to experience things that we truly care about and be the champions of our own stress, becoming a way to pursue outcomes that we care about for the people that we care about. So today we're going to talk about how to just do that, be the champion in your own life, and to get good at stress. So again, thank you for joining us today. We're going to have a wide variety of activities and exercises, meditations, and things that we share. And I will continue to post things on our group. But what I need you to do before we get started is consider changing your mindset about stress. We're going to look at strategies for changing your relationship with stress. It will no longer be an enemy to avoid. It'll be a friend and a mentor who will help you learn and grow. You'll help to experience like a heightened sense of arousal and be able to respond to it with calmness. We'll consider the multifaceted picture of happiness and how the pursuit of happiness is a goal that everyone leads to, but what we really need to look forward to is living a purpose and passionate, driven life. And that's really what I spend most of my coaching time on, is helping people find their purpose and their passion so they can live a more mindful life, living a life that leads, frankly, to what they'd want their eulogy to say about them, and taking every moment, every present moment mindfully that we have here to make the best of it. So we're going to talk a lot about stress management and psychological strategies. So let's go ahead and let's get started talking about how stress can work for you. So some of the things in mindfulness have to do with breath work. And that simply means different kinds of ways that you breathe. So I like to think of it as the gift of breath. I like to think of it as breathing is something that we get every day for free with no membership, no subscription, no apps, nothing. It's there, it's happening all the time, whether we want it to or not. And so, why not tap into that beauty and that magic? Because our bodies are made to heal ourselves. And we have immune systems that fight to heal ourselves. So let's put that system to work for us. So let's get started. Let's talk about a little bit of the benefits of mindfulness. So, psychological benefits: increased happiness, increased compassion, life satisfaction, relationship quality, work satisfaction, sense of meaning, decreased stress, decreased depression, and decreased anxiety. All benefits that many of us so necessarily seek right now. Cognitively, you can have increased attention, increased focus, increased memory, creativity, less mind wandering, less kind of mindlessness, actually. Like when you drive in the car and you show up somewhere and you don't even realize how you got there. You weren't being very mindful when you took that drive. Thank goodness you got there safely. For physical, you're going to have an improved immune function when you use mindful practices. You're going to reduce hypertension. You're going to decrease chronic pain, something very important to me and a lot of my peers. You're going to improve your cardiovascular system, and your levels of cortisol will decrease. Most importantly, you'll increase the quality of your sleep. And rest is one of the key things in a good night's sleep that's good for critical thinking and neural pathways being rebuilt, which is what mindfulness can do. We're actually rewiring the brain, retraining those old tapes to be able to say, neuroplasticity is what they call it, and you're actually building new mylar that goes down the nerve pathways and rewires those messages that are going in your brain that you've been sending over and over and over, kind of like going down the same highway. We're going to build some new roads together. We're going to take a different fork in the road. So, to help decrease stress, as I mentioned, 3 methods. The first one is breath. We're going to go through here in a minute. We're going to practice our first meditation, which, as I mentioned, I call the gift of breath. But first, I want you to just get a little bit of an idea of what meditation is. And some people have challenges in the beginning, so I want to address that before we start. And I want you to just think, this is not like a project or something that you have to excel at. This is a practice that you do with yourself, and you will know when you find the peace that you're looking for. You may wonder, am I meditating yet? I'm laying here on the floor. I'm breathing like I'm supposed to. Maybe you fall asleep. Is that a bad thing? You know, when will I start to feel better? When are these questions going to stop popping into my head and me not be able to control them? What am I supposed to be thinking right now? And what happens when all these thoughts come in my head? What do I do? Where should I be sitting? Do I have to sit in like a yoga pose, Indian style, and hold my fingers like this? What I want you to know, these are all common worries and questions and concerns. But there's no expectations of what meditation looks like. Each of us is different. Some people prefer to lie down. Some people prefer to sit up. Some people prefer to do what's called grounding, which we're going to discuss later, where they might be grounded into something on the floor or something in their back of their chair. But these are common challenges faced by many meditators. And, you know, after you start practicing and doing this on a daily basis, I think you're going to find that you're soon going to feel better. And you're going to find that you can check in and see where you are and realize whether or not you're meditating and whether or not your mind is quiet. I'm going to give you some tools to get rid of those racing thoughts. If you fall asleep, then you needed to sleep. And the best meditation position is the best one that's comfortable for you. So have no worries. If your mind wanders, if you get anxious, how much time it takes, do you need a timer? Those are all things that you can decide for yourself. You can do this walking. You can do this, I don't recommend it driving, but I do have a meditation for you when you get road rage we'll talk about. It can be the most peaceful part of your day. For me, it's like a gift I give myself at the end of the day, like a little piece of chocolate that a hotel person left on my pillow. Right before bed, I have a little soothing stress. So the first thing I want to start out is something that I think is fairly easy for us to all conceptualize before we get into deep breathing. But of all the mundane stresses in life, traffic stress tops my list. Being stuck in traffic. I'm from the DC area, and traffic here is horrific. There's so many things that can bring about anxiety, bring my shoulders up, bring the tension into my body, and set my day off in the wrong direction. Whether someone cuts me off, or whether I'm going too slow, or I'm going too fast, or the cars around us are cutting us off, it can be pretty nerve-wracking. So we're just going to take a couple of minutes here and do this whenever you're driving. If you start to feel stressed, I want you to use these mindful tips. Ask yourself if there's anything first that you need to do to be safer, and let that be your first mindful response. Do you need to slow down? Do you need to back off that person in front of you? Do you need to take a deep breath so you're not road raging? Be aware of the senses that are in your body. Do you feel yourself tensing up? Are you yelling? Take a visual inspection of the interior of your car. Become more aware of your sounds. I want you to continuously, when you practice mindfulness, to use your five senses. And so I want you to look around. I want you to pay attention to the other cars. I want you to see what's in your car. Then, at that point, after you realize that you're doing the safest thing possible, I want you to begin to breathe slowly and regularly. Try to breathe deeply. If music is on, maybe turn it off. Simplify. It can be so much simpler to safely drive in a quiet car. If your mind is racing, I want you to pace yourself in your breathing. Traffic could be going fast. Maybe you need to pull over to the right lane, go a little slower. To regulate your emotions, start breathing. Breathing a little bit deeper, not snapping at other drivers, and recognizing that you may have assumptions about what's going on with other people, and really none of us know what's going on in the other person's life. And calm any agitation you may feel, and recognize that environment, and soothe stress in traffic. I think that's one of the simplest ways of mindfulness and breathing can begin. So that's my first recommendation to you. So the gift of breath starts with calming the body through, as I mentioned, the autonomic nervous system being calmed and going into a parasympathetic state, which our bodies cannot heal unless they are in a parasympathetic state. So in order to turn on the mechanisms that our bodies know so well, we have to teach it how to get to a state of calm and rest. So the way that we do that is first through our breathing. So when the mind gets agitated, the body follows. So the relationship between the mind and body is completely a two-way street. And as you calm the body, your mind will follow. And I learned this through my own meditative practices through the past couple of years in trying to heal my health. And I successfully was able to heal a rare diagnosis called POTS. It's a cardiac condition caused by hypermobility, where my heart rate was at 150 beats per minute as I laid down resting. And I practiced mindfulness several times a day for over a year, and now my heart rate is at 50 in the 50s beats per minute. So I'm literally a Christy calmer person. So pick a position in which you can do this exercise. You can sit, you can stand, you can lie down, anywhere, any way you need to calm down. Dining room chair right before you take a bite. Living room chair right before you turn on the TV and the kids come running in. Just allow your eyes to close and tune into the sensation of breathing through your nostrils. Tune into the sensation of that wind going right here between your nostrils, feeling the cool sensation. It may take some time to develop the ability to breathe deeply, so give yourself patience and grace. And I want you to find yourself in the present moment, because that is what mindfulness is all about, is the present moment. It is being in this moment, right here, right now. It's not thinking about the past. It's not worrying about the future. It's literally like stopping and smelling the roses for the moment, to just say, stop, I'm going to be right here, right now. Take a whiff of those beautiful roses and enjoy the smell, enjoy the look, enjoy the color and the blooms. Stop and smell the roses. So we're going to focus our attention and have an intention for wellness. So, the gift of breath. I'd like for you to find that comfortable position I mentioned, and I want you to begin to take deep breaths, and if you can, place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. I want you to try to practice to belly breathe, which is where you're taking the deep inhale first through your belly, and you may have to push it up and out in order to get the breath in there first. And then I want you to create a wave, an inhale that brings that belly out, and then the chest comes out. And then as you exhale, I want the wave to go the other way, letting it out. And then let that wave come over you again. Inhale, let the wave go back out. Exhale. Sometimes it's best to practice a count that's with breath. So I'm going to practice walking you through what's known as a 6, 7, 8 breath pattern. So what we're going to do is we're going to breathe, and we're going to inhale for 6 seconds. We're going to hold for 7 seconds, and we're going to exhale for 8 seconds. This is a little bit challenging in the beginning, so I'll show you some other methods. But together with me, as you're lying there comfortable, I want you to close your eyes and allow your muscles to try to relax. Tell them to let go. Tell them to stop feeling all this tightness. Tell them it's okay to have a moment to yourself, that you deserve it, that you're worthy, that you need the self-care, and you deserve to let some of this stress go. So begin by inhaling, and I'm going to count with you. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See if you can keep going. What you want to accomplish here is inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold, if only for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So try practicing that continuously while I'm talking. I want you to breathe in for around 6 seconds. I want you to hold it for a few seconds. And I want your exhale to be longer. I want your exhale to be a I want you to really let things out. I want you to make a noise with your throat. It can gargle in your throat. That activates your vagus nerve, which turns on your parasympathetic system. So as you're taking those breaths, I'm going to walk you through the gift of breath. So oftentimes in mindfulness, we hear about self-compassion and words like love and kindness and self-soothing. But how many of us really understand what any of that means? And do we really understand that the body has the capacity to self-soothe and heal itself? So think of the meditation that you're going to have as a little gift you're going to give yourself. And whether you wake up every morning or it's that chocolate on your pillow at the nightstand, it's a cute little adorable box I want you to picture in your favorite color. And whatever it is, as soon as you rise, you see it. And I want you to open it up and I want you to have this gift. Deep, relaxing breath several times over for hopefully at least 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, maybe you'll get to 10, but just to give yourself some fresh air in the morning is like a fresh cup of coffee. The first thing you do is open it and realize that you do have those moments to give yourself this gift, and you do have the ability to give yourself this restful nap or this restful night's sleep as you lie on the floor, sit in a chair, in whatever posture is comfortable. Continue to take those deep breaths. Continue to feel that hand on your belly rising and your chest rising. And this gift of breath is so simple and it could be done anywhere, anytime. Just breathe. You can focus your mind and your attention on your breath. You can think about the air going through your nose. You can think about the air going down into your lungs or your chest rising, or having your hand on your heart and how it feels to give yourself a little touch. You can hum. All these things, as I said, calm your autonomic nervous system, and our bodies don't heal without it. So go at your own pace and figure out where there might be any level of discomfort, any pain, anything going on. And send your breath to that area to tell it it's okay to calm down. It's okay to let go. You can go through your body from head to toe in kind of a progressive muscle relaxation exercise where you squeeze and tighten, maybe starting with your toes and going up to your ankles and your legs and all the way up your body as you breathe in and out. And just tell things, tighten up, get as tight as you can, and then let them go. Exhale. Let them really go. I know you're there. I know that you can recognize things that are going on in your body, and I know that if you need to, you could give it a name and say, hello. Hello, pain. Hello, discomfort. I'm going to let you go now. Hello, thoughts. I'm going to put you up on a passing by cloud. I'm going to let you go now. I'm going to set myself free. I'm going to have freedom from my calm. It's free, it's easy, and this gift is going to be here for me every day that I'm here. I'm going to give all my breath and energy right to any spot that might need assistance, any tension area, and send vitality, freeing the capacity of that gift, like a caring mother that would give warmth and love and compassion to a child. And if you're a parent, you know exactly what I mean about how careful you are. You spend your time and energy with loving your child. Think about how well you were loved and those precious moments that people loved you in your life. Being kind, healing, giving you vitality, and tell yourself, I deserve this gift and I will accept it. So continue to breathe with me for a few more moments, and I want you to imagine that this gift of breath is there waiting for you every morning or every night, whenever you're ready for it. Take advantage of it every day as if it were a subscription or a membership you signed up for, and that you had an accountability partner that told you that you needed to do this for yourself, because you are your accountability partner with this gift of breath. So you can slow down your breathing to your normal pace. You can begin to come back to the room. You can wiggle your fingers. You can wiggle your toes. I hope that that was relaxing. I hope that if you did fall asleep, that you were tired and you needed it. I hope that you might have found some calm and some peace, if only for a moment. Because what we do in life is we go through on autopilot, like that drive that we took that we don't even know how we got there. And there's some barriers like thoughts and things that come into our mind when we're practicing mindfulness. But we're going to focus our attention on the awareness of the present moment. We're going to focus on those five senses, like I talked about. You can do this when you're doing a walking meditation by just looking around and paying attention to the birds singing, and maybe the leaves are falling off the trees, or maybe flowers are blooming and you're seeing new growth, or maybe you pass by a stream, or maybe you have your favorite dog or cat with you. So, in order to move to the next part, like we said, we need to become aware of the present moment. And as I said, breathing, focusing your attention and your intention, and tuning into your five senses are some of the best ways. In order to get rid of barriers like thoughts that pop into your head while you're meditating, as I mentioned a minute ago, one of the things you can do is sort of pretend to take that thought that you have and sort of put it on a cloud in your mind and let it float by. Or maybe you put it on a leaf that's falling off a fall autumn tree and letting it float down to the ground and letting it go by. Maybe you put it on a leaf on a stream and you watch it float away. But the point is that you let it go, if only for the moments while you're meditating. So the next piece we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about connection. And that connection first starts with ourselves. Then we're going to talk about with others. We're going to talk about a loving kindness meditation that we send out to ourselves and to others. Because we have to have self-compassion for ourselves. And if you're anything like me, you have an inner critic voice that says things to you that you would never say to another human being. And that's a practice that we have to all get rid of. And practice can start here in our peaceful moments of breathing and mindfulness. We're going to talk a little bit in a moment about learning how to single task. Imagine doing that these days, right? While you're working with others. What's a single task? How do you do that? We're going to talk about digitally detoxing, which does mean putting down the device of whatever your choice. Stop the games, stop the email, stop the texting, stop the social media, stop the Kardashians, and actually experience what's going on in the room around you and the people that you're with. We're going to talk about practicing self-care to take the best care of yourself. Because if you can't make yourself a priority, why would you expect anyone else to? Like the old flight attendants used to say, put your mask on first before your child, because you must take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. And as mothers, so many of us today, we always think of our children or our husbands or our work or anything else before ourselves. And that's something that we have to unlearn and reteach and rewire our brain for, is self-care as a priority. All right, so some of the things we're going to go through is a grounding process. So this I mentioned is a base part of foundational mindfulness, which is rooting yourself into the place where you're seated or standing. So if you're standing, you might think about like rooting your feet fully into the floor or the earth or the rug or whatever you're standing on. And sometimes it's easier to think about if there were like four parts to your feet, and that the top right, top left, bottom heel, left and right, that all four of those corners of each of your feet were like balanced perfectly, that you're really grounded. Or maybe what I like to do is to think about putting my back against a chair, or maybe it's a boulder in my imagination, or maybe it's a tree in my imagination, and it gives me something that gives me a sense of protection, gives me something that makes sure that I'm grounded because I'm leaning back and I'm touching it. That's a baseline you need to have for your practice. You're going to be able to walk through difficult thoughts and emotions a little bit better if you're grounded. You're going to be able to enlist the wisdom of your mind if you're grounded. You're going to be able to bring about kindness to yourself and get past fear with that. Because one of the things that we will come to recognize when we become aware in mindfulness is how we need to allow emotions, allow thoughts, and allow things to pass us by and not be judgmental on ourselves, and to just kind of have a curiosity and be investigative about, what is this sensation that I'm feeling? Is it something in my body? Is it something in my mind? Can I name it? Can I say hello to it? Can I not identify with it? Can I not get sucked into it? Can I nurture myself? Can I remain neutral? Can I normalize? Those are all tools that we're going to use as we go through our day. So the next mindfulness exercise I'd like to do with you is one that is grounding, and it's called Leaves on a Stream. So I want you to again sit or lie in a comfortable position. This is a good one for sitting, and I want you to maybe try a chair and imagine it's a boulder or a tree or something that is in your imagination, something that would hold you up steady and strong. And I want you to start your deep breathing just a little bit deeper than your normal breath. You don't have to count. You can just do a normal, deep inhale, maybe to the count of 6, and an exhale, maybe to the count of 7. But let's start together. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8. I want you to continue that. I want you to have your belly rise. As you listen to me, I want you to think deep breathing. That's all you're focused on. You're anchored on your breath. Maybe that hand is on your belly, the other hand on your chest or your heart. I want you to focus on your breath as an anchor, where you're staying put. You're staying right there. You're leaning up against this boulder. Your feet are planted firmly on the ground. If you're sitting cross-legged, I want you to feel the connection between your feet and the seat and the floor beneath you. So close your eyes, and for the next few breaths, I want you to bring your full focus and your attention to your breathing. Notice the feeling of the air going in through your nostrils, down into your lungs, down into the belly as you inhale. And on the exhale, feel the release of any tension as you let the air out slowly and longer than the inhale if you can. I want you to continue to notice the back of whatever that is that's supporting you and grounding you and holding you up. Think of it as something that's literally got your back. Now imagine that you're sitting at the side of a gently flowing stream, and it might be a stream you know, or it might be something you create in your mind. There could be a light breeze. You could have your wind blowing in your hair. You could have a light glistening on the water, and even some soft grass beneath you. Imagine it however you like. Now imagine that there are leaves floating on the surface of the stream, and these leaves are gently flowing past you on down the stream. And so for the next few minutes, if you can take every thought that might pop into your head and place it on a leaf and let it go and watch it go down the stream. So if something pops into your head about your to-do list, your work, what you need to make for dinner, how angry you are at someone who cut you off on the road, Just take all of that, each one individually, as they pop into your head as you're continuing to breathe, and put it on a leaf on a stream. Use as many leaves as you feel like you need to. Or maybe you only have a couple of big ones and you need to weigh those leaves down. Maybe they sink. Maybe they keep going. Maybe they're light as a feather. Maybe they blow away. But over the next few minutes, keep breathing and put everything that pops into your head on a leaf. Now, your mind's going to show up with things in the form of words, pictures, and every thought that arises, whether it's a word, a picture, an image, a visualization, just simply place it on a leaf and let it float by. Do this whether your thoughts are positive and enjoyable or negative and challenging. Just place each one on a leaf and let it float down the stream. If you notice that your thoughts stop momentarily, continue to watch the stream. Sooner or later, a thought's going to pop into your head again. Take another deep breath. Allow the stream to flow at its own rate. There's no reason to try to speed it up. The aim here is not to wash the leaves away. It's to allow your body to relax and experience calm and let them come and go in their own time. And for you to just sit and watch and to be an observer, because you don't have to take control over the stream, over the leaves, over how anything goes. You're just there. Nature has a way of getting things done in its own time. And sometimes it's early and sometimes it's late, but it always accomplishes things. So using nature as a place to walk or meditate or as a visualization is always a good thing. Continue your deep breathing. And even if your mind gets to the point where you're like, this is stupid, I can't even do this, I can't put a thought on a leaf, just let that thought right there, put it on a leaf and let it float by. If a leaf gets stuck, let it hang around. See where it goes. There's no need to try to force it to float away. Simply sit and watch. Sooner or later, another leaf will come along and bump it. It'll pass on down the stream. Take another couple of deep breaths. Let those leaves pass down the stream. I want you to kind of come back to the room. Come back. You can open your eyes when you're ready. You can wiggle your fingers. You can start to stretch or move about. Stand up and stretch if you'd like. And I hope that you enjoyed visualizing the stream and that you can use this exercise in moments of stress or rumination. Many people can successfully apply this in daily life, and it's a skill that you can build. So as you come back to the room, we're going to talk a little bit about the barriers that we talked about, the thoughts, the autopilot that we're in, and how maybe you can deal with them. So the point of this program is to have you de-stress, which is by becoming more aware of the present moment more often, which means you have the powerful influence of being fully present and not the automatic tendency to judge your experience in some way. Those can lead to sequences of thoughts of blame or self-judgment. So immediately put those on a leaf. You can regain your freedom as a first step if you acknowledge the actuality of the situation without being hooked into automatic tendencies to judge. It's one of the key pillars of mindfulness is lack of judging. No judgment. A body scan is a perfect exercise to provide an opportunity to bring an awareness to your body and bring breath and life to your body I mentioned it moments ago in the gift of breath meditation, where you can progressively do muscle relaxation starting at one end of your body and slowly move up or down your body, whichever way you want to go, by squeezing and loosening your muscles, breathing in and out, and giving that scan of a body of feeling where you have any uncomfortable things and sending it some breath. Because breath is life, and you can think of it being like a thread or a chain that links all the events of your life from birth, the beginning, to death, the end. There's a breath every moment, moving itself like this river or like a stream. And have you ever noticed how your breath can change your mood? Short and shallow when we're tense or angry, faster when we're excited, slow and full when we're happy, and almost disappearing and being held when we're afraid. It's there with us all the time, and it is a tool, like an anchor, to stabilize the body and mind, and it is a gift. So put it on your pillow and remember to use it each and every day. We're not we're not in touch with our breathing. It's just there. We're forgetting it most of the time. We don't even realize it's happening. But what I'm trying to have you do in mindfulness is to pay attention with intention to it, and just observe and watch the breath with a sense of interest and be relaxed. So connection. Connection is something that we want to build with ourselves. We also want to build it with other people. So in a moment we'll talk about self-compassion and loving kindness. Self-compassion is having the sense that you are worthy and you are enough, and that you can kind of cut yourself some slack for being so hard on yourself, and that you deserve it. So the meditative practice and the mindfulness practice that we use has some sayings that we say when we go along with it. So you're welcome to just close your eyes wherever you are. You're welcome to keep your regular breathing or take some deep breaths. But the message I want you to repeat in your mind to yourself is to say, may I be at peace. May I be well. May I be calm. May I be happy. You can also turn these well wishes for other people that you think of, and think of that person as you say those things. May they be well. May they be at peace. Or you can send it out into the universe and wish that all beings are well and at peace. That is the source of a loving kindness meditation made famous by several masters of mindfulness, including Sharon Salzberg. And there's plenty of information if you Google any of this. So let's talk about cultivating mindfulness through single tasking. I know, makes me laugh to say it, but we're going to see how, I know we're all good at multitasking. I used to be able to do like 4 or 5 things at the same time, whether it was like cooking dinner and helping with homework or saying the alphabet in my head. I had a friend who used to count people's syllables when they talked. I mean, it's just the amount of things that our superpowered brains can handle. But when I say go, I want you to count from 1 to 26 silently to yourself as quickly as you can. So I also want you at the same time to say the letter A and the number 1, and then B, and then 2, and then C, and then 3, and go all the way up to number 26 by saying a number and a letter. And as quickly as you can, try to do this. I'm going to give you about 15 seconds to do this. So what did you notice? It's kind of hard to multitask. Oops. There goes my background. It's kind of hard to multitask. It's kind of hard to do two things at once. So learning how to single task is something that we should definitely learn how to do as opposed to multitasking. Like, for example, only have one browser tab open. Focus on the one thing you want to get done. It's easier than getting distracted. And if you read an article, read it to completion or save it for later into an app like Instapaper, and don't leave it open all day into your browser. Use one app on your phone at a time rather than switching between them. When you're interrupted and you're switching tasks, take notice of what you're doing and be aware of that behavior. Take notice when your background falls down and you're recording a video. But do you let it bother you? No, you don't. You just keep going. Have more digital free time. Have more time with the people and the things that you love to do and the hobbies that you enjoy and the nature outside that has been around for hundreds of thousands of years and survived through all sorts of weather, storms, and hurricanes. And I want you to think of yourself as the power of that being that can get into the eye of a hurricane when you're in a storm. A hurricane is swirling around and around with very powerful forces that can destroy things. But you have the power to get into the center. You have the power to get into the eye of the hurricane and experience the calm. You can do that by single tasking, digitally detoxing, and if a difficult feeling arises, put it on a leaf. Let it float down a stream. Sometimes your thoughts are going to hook you and you're going to lose track of your exercise. But that's okay. Take another deep breath. Try again. If it doesn't work, just stop. Try again another day. They call it a practice for a reason. Okay. So there's a few things in what I call my meditation toolkit that I can share with you. So if you have irritability, agitation, or rage, what we're going to do is we're going to call this the fists of anger. You're going to sit cross-legged and your eyes are going to be closed. You're going to touch each thumb to the base of your pinky finger and close the rest of the thumbs and form fists. Raising arms, you begin a backstroke movement over the head, alternating each side as you swing up and back around, just like you're doing the backstroke in a pool. Just like you're doing like an O shape, begin strong, rhythmic, inhale, exhale. Something about continuing this movement for 3 minutes can help you get rid of anger. How about anxiety, worry, or racing thoughts? There's a meditation where you can tranquilize your mind by sitting cross-legged and eyes are closed. With your elbows bent, I want you to bring the hands up to meet in front of the body at the level of the heart. And I want you to put your hands in your third fingers together. This is hard to demonstrate. These come back, and your thumbs are together. So if you can see, I have my thumb and my third finger together. Okay, so reference that image. I want you to bend those towards the palm, down to the second joint, and the other ones are curled into the hands, and hold that. And focus your eyes on the tip of your nose while you're holding this. And this will help you get rid of anxiety. This is an acupressure move. So focus your eyes on the tip of your nose while your hands are like this. You see, it's my third finger and my thumbs that are touching, and the other ones are bent together. That can help get rid of anxiety. How about something for fatigue or brain fog? A meditation for cognitive function. A simple, relaxing meditation helps with mental focus and rebooting the nervous system. This is a combination of a breath, a posture, and hand positions, which they call mudras, that changes the biofeedback loop between the body and the brain, setting the stage for powerful healing experiences. And again, you only need to do it for 3 minutes to get the benefit. So the cognitive function, medical meditation, is sitting tall in an easy pose with gently crossed legs and a straight spine. Place your eye gaze at the third eye point between your eyebrows, which is right here. But how you're doing this is you're doing this with your eye gaze, with your eyes closed. You're imagining that you're here. You're imagining that you're breathing through here. Bend the elbows and place the hands at shoulder height with palms facing away from the body, like you're saying stop. Like you're saying stop. Begin moving your forearms in quick outward circles, allowing the thumbs to touch lightly when they meet. Come here together at the center of the chest. Complete one breath per circle. In my experience, this breath can help improve mental function, improve cognition, calm the body, and again, must be done for 3 minutes to benefit. That's just a few meditation toolkit. So continuing to connecting to yourself through digital detox, through single tasking, through expanding your thoughts of loving kindness and things for other people, yourself, and other people in the universe. Another thing that's very, very important is self-care. Taking the time to meditate, taking the time to take a bath, taking the time to read a book, listen to music, do things that make you happy and bring you joy is a very important part of reducing stress and increasing mindfulness. You can imagine and visualize yourself on an imaginary vacation in times when maybe you can't get out. And maybe you can imagine connecting with others where it's safe and you can let go of all your fears. But what I want you to visualize is what a better life looks like. So to wrap up a little bit from today, the 3 basic instructions for mindful stress reduction is A, B, C. A is for awareness, to bringing yourself to the present moment, deliberately having a dignified posture, close your eyes, and asking yourself as you're taking deep breaths, what is my experience right now in thoughts and feelings, in bodily sensations, through my 5 senses? Acknowledge and recognize the experience, even if it's unwanted, and let it go down on the stream if you'd like. B of the ABC is for breathing, and that's gently redirecting your full attention to breathing, and each in-breath and out-breath as they follow, one after the other, and it can function as your anchor and keep you grounded. And C is for consciously expanding and connecting, and expanding the field of your awareness around your breathing so that it includes a sense of your body as a whole, that it includes a sense of your connection to yourself and your connection to others. This provides a way to step out of automatic pilot and reconnect with the present moment. And this skill is used to maintain awareness in the moment. Nothing else. Just ABC. So before we wrap up, I'd like to share with you some things on self-care. As I mentioned, it's very critical to taking good care of yourself, and I'm going to post a document that you can have 100 ideas for self-care. But what we actually do with our time from moment to moment, hour to hour, 1 year to the next, is a very powerful influence affecting our well-being and our ability to deal skillfully with challenges in life and to be resilient. So I'd like for you to ask yourself, as you're facing stress, of the things I do, what nourishes me? What increases my sense of actually being alive and present rather than merely existing? And whatever those things are, I want you to write them down, and I want you to increase those activities. One of the things that you do that drains me, decreases your feeling of actually being alive and present, and make you feel like you're just existing or worse, I want you to write down those activities, and I want you to strike a line through them, and I want you to decrease those activities. And the third thing is, I want you to accept that there's some aspects of life that you simply cannot change. Some things are what they are, and they too shall pass. And you take this life one day at a time, one moment, one gift of breath at a time. And you are consciously choosing to increase the time and the effort that you give to the quality of life activities as opposed to the ones that decrease your energy for life. And you're going to build a better life. You're going to be more present in the moment and make more mindful decisions. And it's going to help you be more aware, alert, and regulate your mental state. So the best way to take care of yourself: physical exercise, proper eating, stretching, yoga, and breathing, and meditation. I hope that you've enjoyed being with us today. I hope that you enjoyed some of our meditations, that you've gotten a sense of calm. We enjoyed a little humor as my background fell over. And I'm going to leave you with a safe way to hug, the mindful way. As we social distance, we realize how much we need human touch, and a good hug can bring us joy. And sometimes that joy is really needed. So we need to have contact, and maybe you're alone, maybe you're not able to see people that are loved ones. I want you to just wrap your arms around your own self tightly. Deep breath in, exhale out. Wrap your arms maybe a little bit tighter around yourself. Safe way to hug. The best person in your life is yourself. Take good care of yourself. Be well, work well, live well. Thank you for being with me today.